What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today, you guys are going to meet a young gentleman by the name of Jahaad. This individual is a credit guru, is a real estate mogul, has over 30 properties in the Philly area. Not only does he do that, but he's also his own GC, his own contractor. I have met a lot of people in the real estate world, but this gentleman has it all down packed to a science. And trust me, you're going to learn a thing or two. Make sure you follow him. Peace out. What's up, baby? What's going on, people? Ladies and gentlemen, today I got an amazing guest. You guys are going to learn a lot. Make sure you grab a pen and paper. We got Jahaad in the building, straight from Philly.
For sure.
Or originally from Jersey.
Philly area.
It's all the same, yo, bro. Welcome. Right. Thank you so much, man. Nice to meet you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming through, bro.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, I just met Jahaad, so we're gonna be meeting him. But I did look at his Instagram. I've heard great things about the gentleman, and man, he knows a lot. He knows a lot about credit. He knows a lot about real estate. He knows a lot about entrepreneurship.
For sure.
So let's get into that, bro. If you could just tell us real quick, bro, what you into, bro?
Like you said, Jahaad, aka Jahaad the Billionaire, on all platforms. Pretty much, I'm a 23-year-old entrepreneur.
Hold up, 23?
Yeah, 23.
Let me give you a round of applause, man. Let me give you a round of applause,
Thank
bro.
you. So I pretty much got started on this journey when I was about 18 and a half.
So it was like not 18 and a third.
Not 18 and a third.
It was like 18 and a half. I got you.
A lot of people always get on me, like, because I don't know, it was one of those things, is like, I just got out of
almost 19.
Almost 19.
But not fully 18.
In the middle, you know, right.
I like that.
So I pretty much got started on my journey when I first just got out of high school. So I've always been like intuitive. When I started, like, I've always been like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, when I was younger, I would shovel snow and things like that. Even when I was like 13 years old, I had an Amazon online store.
Really?
Like, 13 years old.
What were you selling?
Just stuff like, 13-year-old got games. I remember I had Madden, had 2K. Used. So like I remember like one time my mom was like, oh, yo, like, she's always been the person that been putting stuff in my ear. So she's always like a researcher. So she knows everything.
You said your mom?
My mom.
Fire. Let's give a round of applause for mom, bro.
For sure. So
mom. What's mom's name?
Danielle.
Is she on like your Instagram?
No, she's not.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. No, chill.
She's not even.
Chill. No. Because I did see like a.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you said like that she's like following me, or is mom on Instagram.
No, I've seen. I think I saw your Instagram, and I think I did see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my mom's on my page.
On your page. That's what's up.
Yeah. So
okay.
She's always been like she knows a lot about everything.
Okay.
So pretty much like when I was 13 years old, she put that bug in my ear, and now I think about it, I was like, what? Like, why would you? Like,
What's she
at 13
say?
years old, she was just like, you can, start selling stuff online, like on eBay and things like that. Like, she would just say it like that. Like, she's always.
Are you an only child?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But she's always been putting stuff in our ear since we was younger, kind of like not really just talking to us like a kid, like just, watch out for this, watch out for that,
Was she an entrepreneur herself?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Like, she's, as far as work jobs and things like that, but she's been trying to transition to that always.
That's amazing,
so,
bro.
Like I said, she's a big time researcher.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you probably think about, from health to finances, she can tell you,
That's what's up.
Like I said, when I was 13, she just put that bug in, like, oh, you just sell stuff on Amazon. I was like, oh, okay. And I like been a type, like, if you say that, I'm gonna go research it.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember going online, figuring out how to be able to. I don't even know how. Now I think about, like, what is that, 10 years later? How I even...
10 years, bro. That's exactly what it's been, bro. That's what's up.
10 years later, so it's like figuring out how I even set that up. Like, I remember, figuring out, like, how to be able to set up a listing. And I remember, like, I think it was, like, my first sale. Like, I did it, like, in like 24 hours or a day. Like I put up like a Madden game that I wasn't using, a controller. So like within the first 30 days, I made $500. So like, and it was just one of those things, like even down to the fact of my mom at that time, like she worked I think nights or during the day, so she couldn't even take me to the post office. Like the first time that I sold something, she showed me how to be able to, like, I didn't know how to return, like
how to fill out
the return slip, like for the mail.
Yeah.
So she showed me the one time, but the times afterwards she couldn't take me. So I had to come up with a way. Like I remember my brother, he got like a electric dirt bike, a mini one for like Christmas. So I remember like charging that at night, hopping on that and driving like 2 miles to the post office to be able to ship this stuff out.
Wow.
Like I remember going in there and they looking at me like, "What are you doing?" Like little kid, like shipping stuff out. And I'm just like, even down to setting up, like I remember going online, figuring out how to get like a bank account to get paid, like all this stuff. Like now I think about at 13 years old of what I had to do to figure it out. And I feel as though that had led me to be able to be in position at a young age today, because all the things that I've always been figuring out, trying to softwares and how to hack games as a kid. So any roadblock that I went through, I've always figured it out. So, now it's like
a bomb right there, bro.
Appreciate it.
You learn how to solve problems at a young age.
Right.
Using this little thing right here. Using a computer.
Phone.
Wow.
Also now, Instagram, following. So it's like I've been able to be, like I said, fast forward 18 and a half years old. I've always had, far as money, shoveling slow, saving up things. So again, my mom she was, at this time, she was following my now like mentor on Instagram. And like he teaches classes and things, like he's a big real estate investor in Philadelphia. So she was following him. And she, like, one day I remember walking in her room and she was like, "Oh, yo, come here. Like, yo, like that money that you have, you can, start buying real estate. Like, look at this guy. He's flipping real estate in Philadelphia." Wow. And at that time, I'm like, I'm not really trying to hear. I'm 18 and a half years old. Like, I just got my car.
What'd you get?
It was something like a Buick 1999. Like,
okay.
Like, not too much. Like, sick. Like Buick 1999. I'm at least I just got a car. So
mad comfy.
Right.
People don't Buicks, bro.
Come on, dude. I've been through a lot with that Buick. Like, comfy. The suspension on it, it was everything.
Yeah.
So I remember
people don't know this, but Buick was like the luxury brand back in the days.
It was?
Yeah, of course. Not luxury, but like a Buick, like, bro. Come on.
Would die to have one.
Yeah, of course. Because it's comfortable.
It was spacious.
Yeah.
The trunk, I fit everything in that trunk.
Sheesh.
Everything.
So until 18 you was doing Amazon and you stood with that, or did you transition into other
I didn't
things?
get to tell you. So 13, and this is another thing. I had like, now I think about it, I had like a downfall when I was 13. So I was making money. I made that money, spent a few dollars, but then this is when I ran out of things to sell around the house, because I'm just selling my own stuff. So now I'm transitioning to the mindset of, well, how can I, turn this into a business of buying something and reselling it. So I don't know if you're familiar with like Minex boxes.
No.
Fire sticks.
Yes.
Now Fire sticks.
Gotcha.
But before there was a Minex box, it was like a small or very big box that is kind of like the Fire Stick. You can upload software on it and you can sell them. So at that time, people were selling those for like $300 to $500. So I remember taking all the money that I had and I went on Alibaba and I bought something, a Minex box from China, because it was cheaper. So by me doing that, Alibaba, you don't even know what you're getting. A month go by. It took like a month to even get here. So now it took like a month to get there. I opened it. I remember it was working. It was kind of like I had to get like a new cord for it because it was from China. So I ended up uploading the software onto the Minex box. Long story short, the software, I ended up packaging it, sending it out. I sent it out to the person, but when they got it, I don't know, through UPS or, just because it was from China, they plugged in it did not work. So now what's gonna happen? You know, they sent it back. They wanted a refund, and at this time, I figured out everything, but I did not figure out how to return stuff.
Sheesh. You didn't put that in the equation.
I didn't put that in the equation,
Right.
so I didn't like.
Now you're
I
like,
never.
he ain't getting his money back.
Right. So it's no, not they not getting it, but you know they'll take the money from you automatically, and now I'm stuck with the Minix box, and I just spent all my money on it. So it's like. Now it's just like, it was like a total loss. And, you know, at 13 years old, I'm like, all right, boom, I lost the money. Now I'm not thinking of it because it's like, I don't even know what to do now. So it's just like, you know, I kind of, I would say gave up on it, you know, but that's like, I would say now I look at it in my entrepreneurship.
So you gave up on entrepreneurship?
At that time. Like, I just gave up.
And then when did you pick it back up?
When I was 18 and a half. Throughout the years, I was always, you know, shoveling snow. So I always was, you know, making, you know, as far as making money.
Yeah.
But as far as that Amazon business, it, you know, it was going well, but it died quick.
So bro, I got to ask you this question because I remember that. I remember kids would go around the neighborhood and knock on doors and ask, yo, do you want me to shovel your snow?
Right.
So that's what you did?
That's what we did. So especially,
right.
Yo,
So how much would you charge?
We charge like anywhere between 50, 80, depending on $100. Because especially at this time too, is like
when I was growing up, it was like $10, $20.
Where you from New York?
From Queens, yeah.
All right, 'cause I can hear in your voice.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit. I don't know. In New York, we
probably had small driveways.
That's what I'm saying. So
you had some
in
big
Jersey,
driveways.
we had some 8-car garage driveways.
No, you gotta charge, bro.
Yeah. We had to get the driveway, the sidewalk, and you know they had like a walk path into their house. So that's like.
So how many of those houses you would do in a day?
We probably, I don't know, like. I was working with my friend at the time too, so sometimes we would split it. Sometimes I'd do it by myself, probably like 5. And 2, I remember once we got enough capital, he ended up getting a snowblower. So we was actually ripping and running through property. So, I did a little bit of that, and pretty much, like I said, and then also as well in high school, I ran track. I ended up becoming like a state champion and everything. So I started focusing on that majority until, like I said, when I got out of high school, it was more so. I don't know. It's just like as soon as I walked across the stage, or especially when I turned 18, it made me feel like, all right, I'm a man now. Like you're 18, like now you're off, in the real life. So I always wanted to put be like ahead. So that's why it was kind of like throughout that, I would say that period of 18 to when my mom taught to me, I wasn't really focused. I wasn't not focused. I just didn't know what my life was going to be like. I'm at this time, I went to college. I was going to college, but I didn't really know what I wanted to be. I would say, like, people ask me like, "Oh, what you want to do?" Like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a dental person," or like just saying anything because I really didn't have a direction.
Right.
So until, like I said, and at that time too, I would go like shopping at the mall, buy all the fly gear, just spending my money. But then it all changed when my mom, like I said, she introduced me to, as far as my mentor on Instagram.
And he's still your mentor?
He's still my mentor now. So he actually lives down here. But how it's crazy. In Miami. So
and he always lived in Miami.
I think no, he didn't always live in Miami. So he's from Philly, but kind of similar situation. Migrated down to Miami. So before he was my mentor, she just showed me on Instagram. So she's like, oh, no, like at the time, like okay, like flipping houses, I'll look into it. But then she's like, no, I really want you to take interest in this. So she bought me $100 ticket to his class. So his class, like it was $100 ticket in Philadelphia, at Temple University. And I remember going there it was like in August, like right before I think I went off to college, I think it was around the time I went off to college, just touched college. And I remember like walking in, registration and everything. I'm just looking around and I see people that's 40 years old, like twice my age. And I'm just like kind of intimidated, but it's kind of like a good thing too. It's like, whoa, like something new. Like I kind of feel like a little, like an adult kind of experience. Like I'm experiencing something new that I'd never experienced before.
That's amazing, bro.
So it was like probably like 300-400 people in there. But I was always taught like, if you really take it, I wanted to take it serious. So I actually sat inside like the front row. And I just remember he had tons of speakers there, and the first speaker got on there and start talking about credit. And that, like, they start talking, oh, you could take your credit cards, and, you know, if, like, you need capital to get into real estate, you could go, you know, take this credit, you know, build your credit up and go to the bank, and they'll give you $50,000 to $100,000 in funding. You know, how about you, instead of, you know, think about how long it would take you to build up $50,000 or $100,000 when you can just, you know, take 6 months to build, you know, your credit, or it's already in position. You just get a piece of paper, LLC, and now you can get access to the capital. Now all you got to do is put that in play. So I said, what? So mind you, this is something, you know, growing up, we aren't taught about.
At all.
We ain't talk about credit, no finances. I didn't know anything about a credit score. I didn't know what the highest, what a credit profile, the 3 credit. I didn't know any of that stuff. So when I walked into this, you know, conference and I started hearing that, it lit a spike in me. So I was just like, what? So like after that day, you know, everybody, you know, they talking about wholesaling, real estate. My mentor got in to talk about real estate. I was like, all right, boom. Like it sparked a light bulb from that day. Like, this is my path. This is what I want to do. So moving forward, I wanted to get, real estate was always the goal, but you need money to get into real estate.
Totally.
So then I was like, all right, well, how long would it take me to, you know, build up that capital? Obviously, I wasn't, you know, at that time, I wasn't making that type of money. Like, you know, I'm a college student, you know. Also, too, when I got into college, I remember I had some books. So, you know, I would buy books from, you know, other students that was there previously, and I would sell those. So I was always kind of like an entrepreneur making a couple dollars. But like I said, I wasn't making thousands of dollars that was needed to get into real estate. So from that day on, then I started taking my own money and investing into myself. That money that, like, I cut all the going to the stores, you know, buying a designer, and now I pay for my own consultation to be able to, you know, I remember I paid like $100 to that lady to, you know, view my credit profile. And then also too, that was like 2 or 3 weeks later. In that time being, I told my mom, I was like, oh, can you add me onto one of your credit cards? She added me. I didn't even know what that stuff was. Okay, she said, okay, because she has excellent credit. So she added me on. And then when I remember sitting down in front of the lady, and she like, yo, you got, like, why are you here? I'm like, what do you mean why I'm here? Like, I'm trying to get the information, build my credit. Like, I'm trying to get started. Oh, you got a 700 credit score already.
Sheesh.
I said, 700 credit score? She said, oh yeah, like somebody added you on. I said, oh, my mom did. So now I got a 700 credit score, but now also too, you know, with credit, it's not just about the score. You gotta, you know, that was just to get me started. Entry. So I had to get my own credit cards and my own name and things like that. So she was breaking that down more to me. And like I said, from that day on, I was just moving forward. I started diving more in credit, like learning how to properly build it, building up that, you know, as far as my credit score, building up my profile. So moving forward, like after that, like I said, I'm still in college. I'm diving deep. I'm following other people, other real estate investors on Instagram. I'm paying money now also as well. Like my mentor, I didn't just go to one class. I went to many classes. So now I started building my face up. And, you know, I started my LLC, and I remember, like, fast forward, like 6 months, probably 6 months later after that first initial class, I went to a few more. But this one particularly was like what I would say like changed my life a little bit. He had a class out Chicago, right? And this is a day after my birthday. So my birthday is March 16th. This is March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day. So he had a class. And mind you, I just turned 19 years old. I never traveled by myself before.
You went all the way to Chicago.
I went all the way to Chicago.
19.
But everybody telling me like, no, don't go. Like family members, I'm telling like I was on the fence about it. But what really like changed it was, you know, out of goodness of his heart, he actually made the class free. Wow. So that was just like one of those signs. You know, you get some signs and like, like, y'all know, you get some signs.
1,000%.
Like, yo, that's a sign like I gotta go. So I flew out all the way to Chicago. It was probably like 3-hour trip from Philadelphia. And you know, I showed up. It's free class. Then when I showed up, you know, I've been to multiple of his classes. So he sees me because I'm obviously the youngest one. That's, you know, when I go to class, I always speak up, ask questions. But this particular time, he's like, yo, like, what are you doing here? Like, what you mean? Like, he like, wow, you just flew all the way out. Like, I just seen you like last week at the other class. So I'm like, man, I'm just trying to learn. He said, like that's dope. Wow. So I'm sitting there learning. And then after the class, he like, you know, pulled me to the side and gave me his phone number.
Wow.
He gave me his phone number and he said, yo, text me text me after you get out of college, like once you go on break. So I said, okay, word, bet. So I literally sat on that phone number. So that was like March, April. So I get out of college like late May. The day after I got out of college,
Ring.
I called him. He didn't answer. Obviously, he's a busy man. Called him again. Hit him a few times. I'm really trying to, take him up on his word. Like, I'm really trying to learn this whole real estate thing. So I end up, one time I hit him on Instagram and like in his comments, like, oh, yo, like I've been calling you. Then he shoot me a DM like, oh, my bad. Like I get like a lot of calls. He sent me a address and said, meet me here at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Crazy. So literally, I met him there where that address at 10 a.m. Of course, he wasn't there at that time, but I stayed around. He like, yo, what's up? Like, what you doing? Like, what's the word? I'm like, what's up? I'm here. I'm trying to learn, like showing you that I'm serious. So I remember just.
I really hope y'all listening right now, because that is, this young man made a freaking decision. He made a decision and he would show up. 80% is showing up.
A lot of people don't understand that. Just being consistent and showing up.
Oh, man.
So literally, like I said, so then just rolling around with them, he has class and stuff. He teaches mentees. I remember being in a room just like this, like literally probably this size. He was, trying to, helping somebody get into real estate, or like one of his mentees, and he asked about like a LLC question. So I said, like he looked to me, I don't even know why he looked to me, but he looked to me for the answer. It was like, oh, you know how to do, or like about LLCs or anything. And I was like, yeah, like I was able to answer the question right then and there. And I don't know if that like impressed him or what, but after that, he like, oh, yo, like you guys don't got an LLC. Like he pulled me to the side after that meeting, and he was like, yo, like all the clients that come through here, like, yo, I could set you up, like you'll get like you can set up their LLCs, like all whatever you like, you let me know what you charging, I'll let them know, and like you get all my clients. Boom. So literally that whole from May to August, like, and he has like at that time he had like 50,000, like he has a big following now, like even bigger, but he had a big following and influence. So like I remember one day, like it started off like he had a lot of clients, but also as well, then he posted me on his Instagram. Mm-hmm. So my phone was flooded. So like I made like a lot of money that summer. Like I don't even, probably like, I don't know, 30, 40, like I don't like at 19 years old. Like that's why I say like that was kind of like the
but
turning
you were busy.
point. I was busy, like, but also as well. So that happened. Another thing that I feel as though like I've always like just trying to put myself ahead. So when I moved out my mom's house, when I was 18 going off to college, I made it to like a word to myself, like I don't want to come back. And not saying I had like a bad household, like a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to come. No, for the sole fact of I'm grown now. I want to figure it out on my own before life forces me. Like I wanted to, like I see all my other brothers, they was like 18, they was able to go out and off on their own. So I'm like, man, I want to, be just like them, go off on my own. So I remember when I moved out of college, usually everybody goes back home. I stayed, but during like my college education was free, but not the summer portion of it. So like I said, at this time, at that time, like I said, I didn't even link up with him. Like I did, but it wasn't like I wasn't making money at that point to even figure out where I was going to get. I think it was like $6,000 to even stay in college and do a class or two. So I never had a job, but I ended up making a agreement with the housing person. Like I remember coming to him, was like, yo, I don't have $6,000 to stay here. Like, is there something that you can do? Like we can like how can is there some type of assistance, something? He's like, yo, like, are you free throughout the day? I said, yeah, like I don't got nothing to do. So he said, okay, like I got a job for you basically. So he ended up linking me up with like the maintenance people, and like every morning before I went to Philly for like 2-3 hours, I would like vacuum. Like I never had a job before, but I would like vacuum. I remember one time I was like washing the windows and stuff, and that allowed me and put me in position to go to Philly every day, because from my campus to where that office was his office in Philly, was probably like 10, 15 minutes. But if I went back home, it probably was like 40, 50, and I wouldn't have had that same access.
Yeah.
So all these different things, like now I think about it now, it just put me, it was just like
You
right
were just
time.
aligning yourself.
Just aligning. That's all it was.
You're like, I don't want to go back to the comfort.
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go back to the comfort zone with mommy. Same friends. No, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to work. I'm going to grind. I'm going to stay in proximity.
Right. So that put me in position, and then
Insane.
that happened, and then after that, I was still going back and forth. After the summer, obviously, I went back to college. I was still going over there.
Did you graduate?
I didn't graduate college.
That's all good.
Yeah. So I ended up dropping out 2 years. So
What
that
did you
was
go to school for?
business, but it was like. It happened so I would say kind of quick. Like, so I went to college for 2 years. So like I said, that was like I was a freshman in college. So that summer I started, now I dive deep in business now. I can get paid outside of that normal job, 9 to 5 working from the LLCs. Then I told also as well throughout that summer, my first year from that first class, all the way a year later, I built over $100,000 in business funding for myself. So at 19 years old, I had access to over $100,000 in credit.
That's insane.
Because I was able to, throughout that year, I'm learning, building, different banks.
And applying
myself. So not only I knew about the LLCs, but I knew about the credit as well. Also too, learning about traveling and using it for points. And I was making thousands of dollars strictly from my credit cards throughout that summer too. So moving forward, this is how I was able to set up my credit consulting business. It was just like another, I don't know if you got a question.
Yeah. So was your consulting business also facilitating creating LLCs?
Yeah. So I started off with LLCs, then it kind of moved into
credit.
And how did that happen? Was basically one day, everybody knew, kind of like in the office and people that was around kind of knew that, I knew about credit. I built my credit up, young guy moving around. And then one day, a lady, pulled me to the side and was like, yo, you know how to, can you help me with my credit and remove inquiries and stuff? And at this time, I'm like, I know how to do it for myself, but I didn't think that, I could do it for other people. So she was like, no, she kind of begged me yo, I need you, I need your help. Can you help me out? She's like, what's the worst gonna happen? It just don't work. So I said, okay, no problem. So I remember one day she sat me down in her office and she was like, she gave me the information, everything that I needed to be able to help her. And I did it right in front of her, made a few phone calls. And at this time, I'm kind of scared. I didn't know if it was gonna work. I knew it worked for myself, but I never did it for nobody else. So, and then she, I went to go leave and she was like, how much I gotta pay you? And I was like, you don't gotta pay me then. Let's wait until it worked first and then we can, I guess, talk about, I don't, she asked me, how much you charge? I don't charge for this, So long story short, a day or two later, she called me into her office oh, yo, all the, that stuff came off my credit.
Wow.
How much you gonna charge me for? And I was like, I don't know, I don't really charge for this.
And her credit score went up immediately.
Her credit score went up, everything that she just needed some inquiries off. So with credit, too many inquiries can hurt your credit profile.
Okay.
So that's basically applying for credit cards. So if you're applying for credit cards, you're going to, you're going to your store cards, Best Buys, and you're applying for your credit cards. Banks get wary. Banks they don't like you applying for too much credit at one time. So if you go to Best Buy today, you go to Apple, you apply for a credit card, and then the next day you try to go get a Bank of America card, Bank of America is going to deny you because they yo, well, you just went to Apple, you just went to Macy's to apply for credit. We're not going to apply you. We're not going to approve you. It's kind of like your friend, this guy over here, you guys have a friend group, and that he went to all of these, 4 different friends and borrowed $500 from. So now he comes to you, you'll be wary. Something's up. You'll be wary to give, why you need $500? I just know you went to them over there and got the money.
I get it.
So it's the same thing with the credit bureaus, or the creditors. They don't like you, searching for too much credit.
Okay.
So even though you may have an excellent credit score, they still can deny you for credit. Even you can have 800, they're still going to deny you for credit. So that's something far as with entrepreneurs, people that's looking to get money, the whole goal is, remove those items off your profile so you can go back in and get funding. So long story short, that's her goal that she was looking to do.
I want to show you my credit.
You can show it to me.
I want to see what
Can I
you
get
think.
some water? Some water? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
So I have this program.
Okay, Experian, of course.
Yeah.
That's the number one.
It's good, right?
Experian.com.
All right. So here you go.
Okay. Lit.
Not bad, right?
That's not bad. We can get it. We can get that to the 800s. We can move, we could do a few things with this. That's good. Okay.
What can you see there that maybe we can use?
What you mean?
Could do?
We could do. What I would say is one, you have a few credit cards. Okay. So a lot of times, like here, you want to have. I always say you want to have 5 or more credit cards. So a lot of times people think that,
But I don't use them.
Yeah, but it's not always about using. Like, so starting off just having one credit card is not enough. So you have a couple, but the more that you have, the better your profile is. So the banks, it's kind of like the banks, they want to see who you're paying. So a lot of times we're just taught that, okay, you get an 800 credit score or a 750 credit score, you can go out and buy anything. That's not true. They want to see that, okay, you got a 750 credit score, you got a few credit cards with higher limits to be able to, for them to be able to give you, credit. So for how it works is they only going to lend you what you've already proven that you can manage. So if you have a $10,000 credit card, more than likely the next time you apply for something, you're going to get a $10,000 credit card.
Okay.
If you have a $1,000 credit card, you can't walk into the next bank and expect them to approve you for $10,000.
Gotcha.
Because it's a relationship based, thing with credit. So with, that's why I always say, like, when people, starting off, what happens? I have no credit. What do I do? Well, I would say, okay, you want to start off, get a few starter cards, anywhere between 3 to 5 of them, because now in 6 to 8 months, you got 6 to 8 months history. Every month it's reporting on-time payments from 3 to 5 different credit cards, regardless if you use them or not. Like, you could go here. A lot of people think that you got to actually.
Can we really show that? Can we show that?
What you mean? No, yeah, it's not
okay?
your. It's not your information. No. This not your. It ain't got nothing on there. So what I'm saying is, you see how you have on-time payments every month, regardless if you're using it.
You just big me up right now. You see that? Your
you
boy
see
pays.
all that green,
I'm a green light.
So a lot of times
I'm a responsible individual.
Exactly. So the banks, regardless if you use your credit card this month or not, it's going to show an on-time payment, which is good. So a lot of people think, I need to go out and
splurge.
Spend money to build my credit. That's not true. How it goes is the more credit you have, as far as credit cards you have, and that they just want to see that you're responsible. So regardless if you use it or not, it's going to report on-time payments.
Nice.
So within that 6 to 8 months period, all these greens, you got, say, 3 or 5 credit cards reporting every single month green. So now that's building your history. So now in 6 to 8 months, you can call in, say, hey, I need an increase. You can go from $1,000 to $5,000. And now the next time you go apply for some funding or go apply for a credit card, now you're approved. They're approving you for $5,000, 5 or 10,000. So how does that work is a lot of times people are like, as far as getting into real estate, I need 30,000. Okay. How does that work? You could go to the bank and go get, let's say, 5 credit card, or you could go get, I wouldn't say 10 credit, 5 credit cards at $10,000. That's $50,000. You can go get business funding. So a lot of times you have to build up your profile first to be able to walk into the banks to be able to get approved for those things. So start off with your personal credit.
Okay.
So, you in the green. Look, you got 7. So you could go get some funding. I see you got 7.
So funding, like business funding?
Business funding.
Okay. With my personal.
With your personal. So how does that work is you get established an LLC. You familiar?
Yeah, I got an LLC.
Okay, so you got an LLC. So all you need is, usually I say 700 and above credit score, and an LLC can get you a good amount of funding depending upon what your credit profile is.
What do you do with this funding?
I invest in real estate, so that's what I do. So how it works? Well, which route you want to go? Business funding first or real estate? Real estate.
I love real estate.
I love real estate too. We in real estate right now.
Yes, we are.
We sitting at in a nice, lovely apartment.
This was the first Bitcoin to Bitcoin real estate transaction.
For real?
Yeah. No credit needed.
You got to tell me about that.
I will.
I want to get into that.
I got you.
all the Bitcoin and wealth.
Yes,
we talking about
1000%.
So how does it go ahead?
And I just bought another house.
You bought another house?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was with credit.
With credit?
Yeah, with loans.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a similar thing that I utilize in real estate. So how it works is you can go out, I use private money lenders. Simply, these are lenders that it's not conventional like Chase, Bank of America. These are regular people with a lot of cash that they need to dispose, and they just want to make interest on their money. So they'll give you a loan if you don't have a job, no tax returns, as long as you got a 620 credit score, a excellent real estate deal, and the cash to close on as far as the down payment, they're going to give you a loan.
Wow.
So how I use my credit is, like for example, let's say for example a scenario, I find a property for $50,000. I need $50,000 to renovate it. I'm all in $100,000. I need $100,000 loan. I take this to my lender. They say, okay, we can give you up to 80% of that $100,000. So you may say, well, where's that other $20,000 or that 20% is going to go, which is $20,000, which is the down payment. I leverage my credit cards to be able to use that for the down payment.
How do you use your credit cards for that?
Like what you mean? Like how
you could just go swipe it?
No. So how it works is, one, like I was telling you about the LLC. When you have an LLC, you can get business credit. So now the business credit is credit on steroids. One, you can go get business credit cards, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on each credit card. So now, like literally, you can go get, set up an LLC. You can go to Bank of America. Like I know somebody I just got somebody approved for a $25,000 credit card. That's just one.
So how do you take the cash out though?
How you take the cash out? There's a website like far as like Plastique. So that's one website which we call manufacturer spending. So manufacturer spending is what we call like credit to cash. So it's websites out here like Plastique. You can go on there.
They'll process your credit card and give you the cash.
They'll process your credit card and send you a check in the mail.
Wow.
Now you put the check in your business bank account. Now, 2 to 3 days, $25,000 clears. Now you have liquid cash. But the great thing about it, people are like, whoa, credit cards, high interest rates.
Right. That's what I was
high interest rates. How are you going to pay that back? However, with these credit cards, they have 0% interest. You ever see the commercials?
Always.
0% interest for 9 months, 12 months. Even banks, they have 24 months. So you get a credit, you could go to Bank of America right now. You can get a business credit card that 9 months, 12 months that they have 0% interest. So now
enough time to do your deal.
You have enough time to do your deal. So I'm really in and on my deals in 6 months at minimum. So now I'm able to, if I have 12 months, 0% interest, I'm able to flip that money twice before I even have to pay them back a dime. And people are like, whoa, high interest. I'm not paying any interest on this money. It's 0%.
And Plastique, what do they pay to do that?
Probably like 2%.
Okay.
Like 2% they charge you. But you got to think about it. Like I was going back to the deal. So now if I got a deal for $100,000, let's say I flip it for $200,000, 6 months. So now I sell that deal for $200,000. Let's say taxes, everything. I walk with $180,000. I take $80,000 of that. I pay back or say my lender, he wants his fees. So let's call it. Let's say even he throws an extra $20,000 on top for interest or whatever. I take $180,000. I pay him. I take $100,000 out of the $180,000. I pay him back. Now that leaves me with $80,000. I take $20,000 out of that $80,000. I pay back my credit cards. But how much did I say did it take to be able to get inside the deal? Only $20,000.
$20,000, yeah.
So now I got $60,000 in my pocket. I got a $20,000 credit card. So now I can do
it again.
1, 20, 40. So I can do 4 deals now.
Wow.
Because now if I go find 4 of those deals, I can take it to my lender and run the same play.
Right.
Hey, I got deal number 1. I got deal number 2. He's going to give me the loan. I got the $20,000 from let's say even 3. I do 3 deals. I got the $20,000 down payment. I take it and present them the deals. They're going to give me the loan for it. I fix it up and I sell it. So that's how I've been able to
dope.
Build my portfolio. Today at 23, I own over 30 units.
30 units?
Yeah, 30
Rental?
units. Rental units.
Wow, dude.
So-
wow, I gotta give you a fucking round of applause, my man.
So
Wow.
So that's how.
For real, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Consultation on your credit.
That is amazing, dude.
So that's how I've been able to scale. Like a lot of people, like, how'd you get in the game at 19 years old? Going back to that story, at 19, I bought my first property doing this method. Took the money off the credit cards. Now I took the money off the credit card, purchased my first property, which was a duplex in Ohio. So now, after then, really indulged in real estate when I was in COVID 2020 happened. Then I bought my second property. It was in Camden, New Jersey. It was a single family. That was for like $26,000. Put about $50,000 into it, using my own as far as credit cards. I was able to refinance out of it. And now, like I said, I just kept buying, and it's just get snowballed.
Do you flip them though, or you just hold and rent?
Most of them hold. I've actually flipped.
Wow, congrats, bro.
I actually flipped. I'm actually on my second flip right now. So I own about 10 properties. So it's like I own a 6-unit, a 5-unit. I got a couple triplexes, duplexes, 4 units. So I sold 2 so far.
Wow.
So I sold my first flip. I sold that this February that passed. I made about $100,000 on that.
Congrats.
And it's just like I said, just been rolling since.
How do you find these places?
How I find these?
Yeah,
how my deals?
Yeah, your deals.
I use are you familiar with wholesaling?
A little bit.
Okay, so pretty much I
have a good friend that's done wholesaling. You heard of J Monopoly?
No, I haven't. You gotta put me on.
Okay.
Is he from down here?
Yeah, he used to do. He used to do a lot of wholesaling. That's why I really learned. He introduced me to the wholesaling game.
Okay, so so pretty much I find.
So you find wholesalers in the region.
I don't find. I am the wholesaler.
Oh, you
so
do?
I cut the middleman out.
So you do the whole wholesaling process.
I do the whole wholesaling process. So
Wow.
for the viewers that's listening, wholesaling is simply, you find homeowners that may have a second property. It's dilapidated. In Philly, there's properties that's falling down, and people that left them abandoned for 10 and 20 years. There's people that own these properties. You ever see these we buy houses
Yes,
sign?
we buy houses
for cash. Those are wholesalers. So essentially, they're looking for properties that are dilapidated that people don't want anymore, that they own.
Them putting it in the market, they're gonna feel silly.
But those properties, people you put it on the market, a lot of people are not even gonna touch them.
They're not even gonna look.
They're falling down.
Because most of the people that are looking for properties that has a realtor is looking for a house, a better condition home.
Exactly. So these people, they don't know who they're gonna turn to. So a lot of times, someone like myself, I'll reach out and say, hey, my name is, Jahaad. I'm a local real estate investor in the area.
But how would you find them?
I go on PropStream. So there's a website called PropStream.
Okay.
PROPSTREAM.
Okay.
.com. So this is a database website that you can get. You can literally type in your city and state that you're looking at, and you can get a lot of information as far as homeowners that don't absentee owners, and finding vacant properties and stuff like that.
Burnt.
Yeah, all the information is there. So now you can just compile a list, and we do a thing called skip tracing. So you can just put your list together.
So you did all this homework.
All this homework. I do all this. So now,
do you still do all this homework, or do you have assistants now? Do you have a team now?
Yeah, I have assistants. I have team. Actually, like my little brother, I hired him on his team. He just closed his first deal with me. He finds the property. So I send out mass text message. I have over 10,000 people on my list that I'll blast a text message out saying, hey, my name is such and such. I'm your local real estate investor in the area. I see you own a property on 123 Main Street. I'm interested in buying. Are you interested in selling? So
Sheesh.
Out of the 10,000 people that that I reach out to, let's say even 200 people hit me back and say, hey, majority of them say, hey, I'm not selling to you, but 200 out of the 200, let's say even 10 of them are good deals. You only looking to buy one, most people. So that's a strategy that I use. Like I said, I find a big list from PropStream. I get it. I skip trace it, which is skip tracing is just getting the phone numbers. I can get literally the phone numbers of them, their family members, all the information that PropStream provides. I get that, and I just send out a text message. And that's how I found all my deals. Like I bought a property. My best deal was I bought a property that I just told you for $5,000, and I flipped that for $200.
Wait, you bought it and for $5,000 and flipped it for $200?
I feel like you probably don't. Not saying you don't believe me, but
No, I believe you.
Facts. I got facts.
What happened?
Laptop. Gonna die.
Oh, it's gonna die.
So I plugged it in for you.
All right, thank you.
Let me see if I can show you. So you bought properties.
But you sold it?
I sold it. You familiar with you familiar?
Bought a house for $5,000.
That's my HUD. I could pull up the exact HUD, but it's for $5,000. That's my company name.
How did you find it for $5,000?
I reached out, like literally the same strategies that I used. This was November 2020. I reached out. The lady, she actually lived in Florida. She said, I just don't want nothing to do with the house. It had some back taxes on it. I said, how much you want for it? She told me her number was like $5,000.
And you had to pay the back taxes?
I paid the back taxes, probably like 10, 15 grand.
Wow.
So I fixed it up.
I want to do these kind of deals, buddy.
So like, yeah. So like, I've gotten some crazy like. So that property, I end up,
Why'd you decide to sell it? Just because you're like, damn, this is good way to liquidate.
So within real estate too, a lot of people be like, oh, you want to build generational wealth, but also as well, you need money to scale.
Totally.
So a lot of times
that was a good play for you to have some funding to do more deals.
To do more deals, because it's like, okay, boom, I bought the house, I made over $100,000 on it. If I rented it out, I probably make what? 12.
It's gonna take you a minute.
It would take me a minute to be able to get.
I get it.
Compared, I can sell it for. I made $100,000 off it, like I just told you. Then I have deals where as though, like one of my most, I have a triplex that I bought. Long story short, I only needed about like $30,000 to put down and get into it. That triplex brings in about like $4,000 a month.
Oh my God.
So what I say that to say is,
that's a good deal to keep.
To keep. So it took me $30,000 to get into. So if I sell this for $100,000, I can go buy 3 of those instead of keeping one.
I'm getting excited, bro. I swear to you, bro. This is like you're talking good language to me, bro. This is phenomenal. I hope you guys are paying attention. One thing is, bro, I'm reading this book and it says you just have to fucking believe, bro.
For sure.
You're making me a believer, bro.
For sure.
So, all jokes aside, bro, you're making me a believer, dude.
I appreciate it.
Because I've gotten into investment deals, but bro, they haven't been investment friendly deals.
Right.
They've been more like catered to me.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, this is not where it's at.
Right,
This ain't where. I mean, it's good as a storage of wealth.
Right.
But it's not to generate.
You want to.
That's what the hell I want. I want income, baby. I want generate. I want to generate. I want that.
Exactly.
Dude, we need to talk, bro. Seriously.
No, for sure.
Man. So are you still doing these deals?
Yeah.
Every day, all day.
Yeah. What? Every day. So now, like I said, I have a team. So like, I live in Miami, but I still have like, this is every day. This is a property that we just started today. So this is gonna be a duplex that I'm gonna sell.
Do you go to these places?
Yeah, I just came from Philly last week. Okay. So like it's getting cold now, so I probably won't go back.
Do you have like a good, like, do you have teams like GCs that you work with?
Solid team. So that's another, like, I don't know.
Stop it. Don't tell me you became a contractor too, bro.
I learned the whole
No, you did not, bro. You became a contractor?
I'm my own contractor. So I learned the whole process.
Yo,
like,
stop playing. Yeah. See that right there? Yo, guys, you want to fucking be, you want to be free? Get in a space and be everything as much as you can. Learn every aspect of it.
Right.
Look at that, bro. You learned LLC.
Right. That's what
you learned the credit. Mm-hmm. You learned the real estate. Right. And then now you're a contractor.
Right.
Wow, bro. Yo, dog.
I appreciate it.
Nah, for real, bro. Impressive, bro.
Thank you.
Impressive.
So
fire.
So pretty much yeah, also with that is like, how I figured that out, like through the whole 2020, like when we was people was in the pandemic free, like I was outside, like that, I told you, that's when I first really, like I bought my first property in 19, but I really dove deep within 2020, around like April, when everybody was in the house, like I was literally 10 o'clock at night in properties, figuring out this whole thing. Like my first project was like nightmare from hell. Like I was like, yo,
I was just gonna ask you.
I don't
you
know.
Probably went through a lot of mistakes.
It's a lot of mistakes because it's just like I didn't, you just don't know. You just something you just first diving into. So, I didn't have somebody just, walk my hand all the way through it. Like I had to figure it out. So, I've lost, paying different people, like contractors running off of money. Like my first project probably had like 4 or 5 people that I paid and they took money from me. So all I say that to say, until I found one guy, he was solid. It was literally one guy, older, he knew how to do, work. And it took a longer time, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick it out. Even like I'm in there helping him, like I got videos of me putting plumbing together. I'm paying him, but now I'm in there putting my own plumbing together. So all of that molded me to, being 2 years later, I've been able to, move from Philadelphia to Miami. I got a solid team back home. So now I've been living here for, a year. That's been a process.
What made you move to Miami?
Come on, Sunshine State.
Right.
Nice weather,
Everything.
Lovely woman, nice food, Latino, a lot of culture here. And the big part about a lot of wealth, meeting guys like you, like us, that just simply bump into, and you can network with. So
yeah.
I wanted a different scenery, so
Amazing.
That's why I live here in Miami.
What do you think about the real estate in Miami, bro?
It's too expensive, but
It's too expensive.
I haven't researched it enough to like. You can get a
You
deal.
already got a niche, so you're
So it's
mastering
like,
that.
Yeah, it's
You're
like I already
executing
got everything in Philadelphia. Like a lot of people are like, oh, like are you investing in down here? Yeah, I'm like, no, I haven't really looked at it because one, I already got my team up there. Everything that's running, and 2, I want to live. I like back home when I go home. It's work for me. Like I have a house there. I go home, but it's like I got stuff I got materials in my house right now back home. So it's like, it's not like living. Like you make money to live. So here it's like I'm free. Like I wake up every day and I'm like I do work, but it's like I go to the gym and I live more. So back home. So that's what I want. I don't want to do. Like I don't think I want to do business in Miami or where I live at because I just want that freedom.
What do you think is going to happen? And I don't think that's going to change much in like the market you're at. But now they're saying there's going to be some correction.
Interest rates is high.
Interest rates high, but there's going to be a correction.
It will be a correction as far as we're already seeing pricing dropping. Like I have a house on the market right now for sale. Like I'm getting a decent numbers, still profit, but I feel as though a few months ago I would have got a higher number.
Okay.
Just because of the interest rates. So a lot of people don't realize like interest rates matter because majority of people that go buy houses are gonna go get a loan on it. So the interest rate is what you pay for, on top of, that's the price the bank's profit.
Right.
So long story short, the higher the interest rates, the more the increase in payment. So literally on like the like on that one house, like the payment, like people are paying double. Like I was talking to somebody, they went like a year ago, they went to go buy a house when the interest rate is as low as possible. The house they could have got $1 million house. Now that same, the same income, same everything, now they only can go buy a $500,000 house. So since the interest rates are higher, your payments are more, but you're paying, like, how can I explain it? Like, you're gonna get less house, but you're paying the same, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
So long story short, it will be a correction. It will be a lot of, prices are already dropping. We've seen it in the markets.
Do you think it's going to happen in Miami, or the prices are going to remain the same because of the influx of people?
I haven't really looked. Like I just study my market.
Okay.
But a lot of time, like a lot of people, are shying away from getting in real estate because of that. And I would say don't do that. This is the perfect time you want to get in, because at the end of the day, we're real estate investors. We're buying, like, yeah, I'm buying, like, now it's costing me a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I'm still making profit.
Right.
The market is gonna go, the interest rates are gonna go down sometime, but now the prices are gonna rise, and now you're gonna be winning. So what I would say is this is the perfect time. It's never a perfect time to get into real estate than now. There's still great deals, excellent deals that you're going to be able to find. You just got to find a good deal. That's all real estate is. It's not about what area you're in, it's all about numbers. What are you buying it for? What you renovating for, and what are you going to sell it for?
How do you manage all these properties, bro? How do you make sure that they're paying their rent, that you get good tenants in there, if there's a leak, so this, so that? How do you manage, you know what I mean? 30 properties.
30 properties. Systems, pretty much. I mean, all the properties that I'm doing, they're brand new for the most, not new construction, but they're fully renovated. So we got them out, all new electric. So a lot of times they're not going to be like, I don't have major maintenance issues. The only thing is, of course, you're gonna get a call, somebody's blasting music, but I have like a property manager, so all their calls goes to them, so they pick up, and all my rents is electronic, so I really don't have
electronic,
so they pay their rent through like a portal, on between the 1st and the 5th. Everything is just online now, so it's like literally one person.
What if somebody doesn't pay? How's the eviction process, or what?
Pretty much, on the 15th, when, they'll get their notice. If they don't pay, they get a 10-day notice to pay to quit. If they don't, then they'll go, I have a lawyer. I'll pay him a few dollars. He'll serve them a notice. It take about 2-3 months to get them out, and then we put it back on the road. Yeah. I got horror stories. Listen, I'm young. I've been, short time, but I've had like that house that I sold for $5,000. Like I had not only just tenants, but like I had a lady. She had broke into my house. Like literally, that house is brand new, like sparkling, everything from top notch. Like I put all the bells and whistles into it. One day, my realtor, he calls me like, "Yo, did you change the locks?" I'm like, "No, I didn't change the locks." He's like, "Yo, I have somebody went over there. They're doing a showing.
A squatter?
The locks have changed." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, just go over there and go check it out." I'm like, "All right, bro." Like, okay. I go over there. The locks has changed. I was like, "What?" So I get in there.
What a nightmare, bro.
So luckily, nobody was in there. I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, I see like a little blanket or somebody stayed in there. I'm like, "Okay." Like, I changed the locks back. Then I get a lady. She like, "What are you doing like in my house?" Basically, like I'm like, "What do you mean? Like this is my house?" She said, "Oh no, like I just paid my deposit for rent, like first last to somebody, and they gave me the keys to move in."
Oh my God.
I said, "No, this house is for sale." Like I showed her the whole everything. Sheesh. She said, "No, this is like no, I just paid my money." I said, "Oh, somebody like must have scammed you."
Yeah.
Long story short, I end up calling the cops. Police come, I'm telling them the story. The police end up saying like, "Oh, and like you were scammed, but like, you can legally go into that property."
What?
Because she didn't have the lease right in there, but just because, she like interpreted that the property was for rent. Somebody, whoever was renting it to him, like she paid her money. She legally belongs in that property, and I would have to evict her. So when they said that, she did a whole 180. "Oh, I can move in." I don't know if she was really scammed, but she ended up like moving into the property, and it took me like
for how long?
Like 3-4. There was a whole back and forth battle, like crazy, like 3-4 months, and I ended up having to get like board up the whole property, and so it took me through.
She boarded up the property?
No, I boarded it up. So I ended up like, she was leaving. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, she ended up leaving. I changed the locks back real quick before she, because she didn't have anything in there. So that was just crazy to me. Like, why they even let her try to move back in there. So it was like a whole thing. I ended up like boarding, like she left out of there, boarding up the property, let it sit for like 3 months. But yeah, like that was like one of like I have stories, but that's like one of the craziest.
So even through those type of stories, it's still worth it.
Still worth it.
Still worth it.
I made 6 figures off that property. Still worth it. Like it was like throughout the process.
Fire.
I was, of course, I was like very down, sad. But that's why it's just when you have a goal in mind and you have that target, you're gonna have things that come in your way, but you still gotta keep your eye on the prize. So I like even with. Like I've always, like I say, even it just brings me back to when I was 13 years old doing Amazon or going through these, hoops and hurdles is just something I just got to get through, So like I've been through a lot throughout this entrepreneurship journey, And I've just, just every time that I go through something and I'm able to, surpass it, it just, the next time I run into a roadblock,
becomes easier.
It just becomes easy. It's just a lesson.
So what's the goal? What you got going on? What's the goal?
Right now?
You have a goal you're achieving right now?
So my goal is I'm looking to, in the next, I set a goal out by June 2023. I need to buy a 50-unit apartment building.
A 50-unit?
50-unit apartment building.
Like just 50 units?
50 units.
We going for 50 units.
50-unit apartment building.
Where? Do we know?
Anywhere. I'm not
Does
biased.
it have to be Philly?
It doesn't have to be Philly.
So then okay, so hold on. This is what I'm asking you. Let's say you buy in Ohio.
Okay.
Just do you still have the same property manager?
No.
No, now you gotta get a different property.
So that's the thing, is because it's like kind of like a crush. Like I got all my team set up. They're familiar. Like all my contractors, they know me. Like I have a team like set up back home. So it will really have to be something where it's like I see like over Philadelphia for me to a longevity of it to be able to go out there, and it has to make sense. Like the numbers just have to make sense for me, and everything has to line up. And but yeah, that's the goal. Like I want
50 units,
50-unit apartment building.
Fire, bro.
That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm gonna go get, and just help more people. That's all.
Good segue. What's the most units you got right now in one property? 8.
6 units.
6 units.
6-unit building.
Gotcha.
6 units in a garage. So I don't like we'll run out the garage. So that's I guess technically 7, but
okay. You just said help more people.
Yeah.
So I know you do something with helping more people. I saw you have like a mentorship group.
Yeah.
You have like a mastermind.
Yeah.
What do you got? What's going on?
Pretty
Tell
much
us a little bit about that.
Like I do classes. I have like my Billionaire University. So we meet every Sunday, and like it's a course / mentorship setup. So I have like over 80 videos that throughout the week they watch, because we only I only could talk for 2-3 hours. After a while, like you're lost. So now Monday through Friday or Saturday, they're able to sit down and watch these 30-minute videos, 40 minutes each video, and really get the information.
Oh, so it's an online program?
It's an online / mentor. Like so.
Okay.
So when we do get on our calls, I break it down even further.
Okay.
So like I got students like literally they got over $100,000 in funding. I got another student that's in the process of about to purchase their first investment property. So I teach what I've done over the last 3-4 years.
That's dope, bro.
In my mentorship. So
do you do like in person? Like do you do like seminars?
Yeah. Okay. So I do I haven't really touched base into me personally, but like I have like I always get invited to do big seminars, like and speak in front of people and teach them the game.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
So even right now where we are, there's still deals, there's still opportunity, there's still
opportunity. Like a lot of people say, yo, it's the market is it's hot, everything is inflated, but it's just about where you're looking at, because it's like I can show you right now my phone. I got tons of deals that to buy right now. So it's like
each one of those units, like the 6. How much do you rent each one of those for?
In the 6 unit?
Yeah.
So it's like $950. So I have
each one?
Yeah, $950.
Wow,
so that's what I'm saying.
That's good.
So the market is a little bit different in Philly compared to here. It's like you get in where I live, like 1 bedroom is $4,000. Like Midtown, it's like in Miami is $4,000. So that's why. Also too, like if I was to tell somebody that's first starting out where to go, wherever you can necessarily afford, you may have to go to Overtown somewhere and find you a nice single family or something to get started. Flip a few first, get your capital up, maybe fire your boss, and then get into the rental
What if you already
game.
got capital?
Then you ready to go. It just depends on how much capital, but what I would say is you go where you can afford, wherever the numbers is right.
So man, I'm excited for my people to really get to know you, bro, and to follow you. So what's your Instagram, dude?
At Jahaad the Billionaire on Instagram. So Jahaad the Billionaire on TikTok, YouTube.
How do you spell that?
HAADTHE Billionaire.
Boom. There you go, dog. All right, and I would love for them to learn from you, bro, because like as I was telling you that I've had a lot of individuals,
Right.
come to the show. But I would say that you're the first young individual that really has this amount of rental units, and that you're not only doing these rental units, but you're also flipping, and that you know the process from opening up the LLC and getting the funding, finding the properties, getting the properties, being a GC, fixing it up, holding and flipping and doing it again. That's amazing, bro.
For sure.
You know,
for
like
sure.
you got this. You got a solid system, dude. So congratulations, bro. I'm looking forward to. I want to learn and I want to apply, bro.
For sure.
And I want my people to learn and apply as well.
For sure.
Let me ask you a question, bro. What has been, since you started this journey, what has been your biggest achievement thus far?
My biggest achievement, like personally, or like
Yeah, personally, like doing all this, like what would you say was the game changer for you that you were like, man, this is so amazing. This is what I do this for.
I just get excited to help people now. Like when I got into the education space and helping people, like just doing stuff like this. Like a lot of times, you know, when I'm working, like sometimes I do like far as, you know, videos, and sometimes it's like it gets in the way of like, oh, like I need to get my work done. But like when I sit down, like I can have 4-hour conversation and with someone, and like whether they pay me or they not, like, and just, you know, as long as I know that, you know, they got the information and it could potentially change their life, like that's a rewarding for me.
What do you think that stems from? That stems because you probably were once there?
Yes.
You were once just hungry for that information, and you know how information changed your situation, that you're willing to give pass this on forward.
For sure. And it's also too, it's like I just know at a space where as though like when I was 18 years old, or just growing from 0 to 18, of things that I wasn't taught in school, that wasn't taught in the household, all of this information that will set you free. Like I wake up at 9 to any time of the day, and I go to the gym, I walk the Midtown shops, go get food and stuff like that. So it's like I don't have I'm like free. Like I don't have, like I'm free. Like I go on vacation. I've been all around the world. So I say that to say is I know the what has done for me and changed my situation, and I know what it can do for someone else. So I teach that just because of like this stuff is not readily available. They're not gonna no one would tell you to take your credit cards to go buy a house.
And truth be told, it's a lot simpler.
Yes,
it is simple.
It's simple,
right?
Simple. You, like I said, you can literally, you have excellent credit. You can go, you have an LLC. You can go to Bank of America. You go to Chase, FNBO, Truist Bank tomorrow, and go get $100,000 in funding tomorrow because you're already in position. Many people don't know that. Many people have excellent credit score. People don't, simply like this, just even have an excellent credit score. A lot of people, you know, like how many people that don't know like what it takes to get that, the factors. Like it's simple. All you have to do is as long as you have no late payments.
You want to know what's insane, bro?
What?
I just got an X amount of loan, right?
Right, exactly.
Listen to this. I got an X amount of loan,
right,
and it's an interest only loan. Dude, I got this large sum of money,
right,
and I'm only paying like peanuts, bro, a month to have access to that money.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what? This is ridiculous.
Right.
I just paid nothing.
Exactly.
A month to have this money, and I could do whatever the heck I want with this money to go make more money. I was but
a lot of people growing up, they be like, well, loan, don't get, dude, why would you do that?
No, bro.
Because now I'm about to go make, but like you say, you're about to make money. It don't matter about that's why when people saying the interest rates, yes, stuff is going to go down. People are going to get scared, but I'm not getting scared because at the end of the day, we're making money on it.
You don't even know like how this fell in my lap. Like it kind of did, but it's about having I have a right accountant.
Right.
I have a right loan lady.
Right.
You know, shout out to Dean, shout out to Tanya, thank you. I have right counsel. You know what I'm saying? I had someone help me with my credit back in the days. So just recently.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, yo, I gotta pay that loan immediately. I'm stressed.
You stressed about it.
I'm stressed.
Right.
So
a lot of people.
I'm like, yo, I gotta pay this loan. And then my counsel tells me, he's like, Ivan, you know you don't have to pay that loan immediately. This is an interest only loan.
Exactly.
You have 10 years to pay that amount, the full amount, and you are only responsible for the interest monthly. I was like, how much is the interest? I was like, that's it? and I keep this? I'm like, yeah, I could do a lot with this. I know how to make money. I'm a businessman.
Exactly.
And
for sure.
And it just fell on my lap. And now having you here and telling me this, I'm like, dude,
This is put the pieces together.
this is putting the pieces to the puzzle together.
But that's too is like just with real estate. Like a lot of times people be like, oh my God, you know, you're getting loans and people will get scared of it. But it's when you should get scared if it's for personal use. I would never tell someone to go take their credit cards to go out and go to
Fendi,
Gucci and stack. No, take your credit cards, go buy something.
Or go to Club Live.
You know, buying $10,000
or 11,
right?
Or Booby Trap,
right?
Never been there,
right.
But I've heard
the trap goes. It goes down.
I heard it's real.
Listen, it's a trap. It would be designed
allegedly.
for you to, right? Allegedly, we haven't right. Allegedly. So what I was saying is, you know, with these loans, you know, I do have, you know, I have millions of dollars in loans.
Sheesh.
But I don't pay them. My tenants pay them.
That's crazy.
So a lot of people are like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, shouldn't you? I sleep good at night because my tenants not only
need a place
my
to
first,
live.
my second, they pay first, security, and last. I have 3 months of payments in reserve already just from them to pay that loan. So a lot of people get scared about loans and different things. As long as you have your reserves, and at the end of the day, these are business loans. So that's why the banks will even give you the loans. They don't check. You know, they're like, I have lenders that they don't even care about your tax returns. They never check my tax return. They never looked at my bank statements. Why? Because they're looking at my property as asset-based loans. So they're looking and saying, okay, I have a property. It makes, I think like $4,500 a month. My payment on it is $1,800.
Wow.
That's a no-brainer to them. Just 1 month's payment from all my tenants can pay that loan for 3 months. So, or 2 to 3 months. So it's like, that's what they're looking at. Business, like anything that you're doing for these loans, they're for business uses. So that's why they will give you this money. They will allow you to, you know, go out and, you know, as long as the numbers make sense, they're looking at the assets. So that's why I'm a big real estate guy, because at the end of the day, I have an asset. Not only if anything happens, I can always go live back in my properties, but two, I have tenants, you know, paying me every 30 days.
And guess what? These tenants, these properties are paying your rent here in Miami.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, a lot of times people be like, people don't pay.
Respectfully, tenants, if you're watching this, respectfully.
Right. If you I'm a tenant too. So,
right.
I'm a tenant too.
And you paying for somebody else's freaking waterfront property somewhere out here.
Exactly. So you know, it's the way that you do it. But what I'm saying is,
you ever had one of your tenants say, yo, can you teach me this?
I have a good, decent presence on social media. So a lot of times, like, that's why I'd be scared to even, like, I have my team and stuff talk to them and show up my face. So I had like one lady, she was like I always get the, can you fix my credit? Or like people, they'll follow me and, you know.
So you don't even show face to your tenants?
No.
Wow.
I try not to. Like, like a lot of times people be like, you always want to be the big monster. I'm the guy, like, I don't even own this property. I'm the worker. I'm the worker, because it's more, I sleep good at night being a worker.
All I gotta say,
I'm the worker. I'm the worker. I don't.
You come in with the tool.
I'm coming with the tools. I come in my regular gear. I'm sweeping and like I don't like because I sleep good at. You got to know when you get into certain rooms. To play certain positions.
Fire! I hope you guys are paying attention to that. No, for real, bro. That's insane, man.
For sure. So,
dope, bro. Dope. I think we should do like a seminar, bro.
We got
like
to.
Crypto and
or mastermind or something.
Mastermind or something
we
like that, bro.
We definitely got to.
Mastermind. That would be insane, bro. For real.
I'm definitely down
because there's one thing, bro. There's a lot of people that talk and they talk really good, but then there's people that actually live it, bro, and do it. And you're doing it, bro.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Let me ask you this, bro. We're gonna end it with this. What is the biggest advice you could give somebody right now?
The biggest advice, especially if I was to start over again, or someone that's you know, regardless if you're young or old, fix your credit. Build your credit. Learn the credit game, because at the end of the day, that will allow you to get the capital to get anything that you want. Like, you know, you're gonna need your credit for you know, the time being. So building that credit up and learning how to be able to use that to make these, regardless if it's real estate, crypto. You know, imagine if you had $30,000 on a credit card, you could flip it into crypto. I know you know about the loans, those assets. You could get the loans off the crypto,
the staking,
and then it's all that stuff. So it's like, these are so many ways that you can literally get in the game and not use your own money and get rich.
That's fire, bro.
That's what I would if somebody like, build your credit up, fix your credit.
That's a game changer. Right. Something for me personally, bro, because I don't use credit cards, but I need something that has good points. What would you recommend?
My favorite credit card, it's the Amex Platinum one.
I'm gonna get that, bro. Everybody got that
because it's
you
like
get the lounges.
You get the lounge. I like traveling.
Yeah.
So that's the thing too. Like, what, you know, like you said, the points, you could travel for free. These are things that's not taught,
and it's easy to apply for it, right?
Apply for it. They get approved. You can go get, you know, like I've taken trips to freaking Turks and Caicos for free, round trip.
Wow.
Just from using credit card points.
So much, bro.
That's how you got to get.
Can you imagine, dude? I traveled to 50 different countries.
For real?
I have been around the world. I pay for this, I pay for that, and I'm over here. Debit.
Too expensive. For sure.
I got it like that. I got it like that. What the hell am I? Let me get a bow. Hold on. I don't even know which one it is. This one. Bum, bum, bum. It's all right though. We gonna change that today.
You get that platinum card. You know, you got the Barclays, American Airlines. That's a good card if you want to get out and get, you know,
American Airlines.
Somebody want to get a free trip. You know, you can apply for that.
American Airlines.
American Airlines. All you got to do is apply for it. I believe also as well, you know, you can find a code online. They'll waive the $99 fee, and you can get, you know, a round trip ticket from, you know, pretty much anywhere.
So American Airlines and Amex. That's it.
I love those.
I'm good
for sure.
Yo, my man. Thank you so much, bro. You just gave us so much fucking knowledge, bro. Seriously, bro. An abundance of information. Guys, I hope you're gonna apply this. I hope you reach out to my guy. Send him a message.
Definitely.
Tell him you came from me. He's going to take care of you. And thank you guys for watching. We greatly appreciate you. We're going to have some more amazing guests, some more knowledge, some more information. With one thing we want you to do is to change your freaking situation. Definitely. Start applying immediately. It is possible. You got a 23-year-old man, a young man here with 30 plus rental units, GC, credit guru, okay? Doing it. Living in Miami.
Thank you.
Living. Why can't you do it? Start believing a lot sooner.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
I appreciate
you, bro. We're definitely going to build.
For sure, for sure.
Thank you, my man.
No problem.
All right, peace out.